Michigan is home to some of the most haunted film locations in America. From the eerie Eloise Asylum in Westland to the abandoned Packard plant and Michigan Central Station in Detroit, filmmakers are drawn to their dark atmosphere. The Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island and the haunted Traverse City State Hospital add chilling beauty to the screen. These locations mix ghostly legends with cinematic history, making Michigan a hotspot for both paranormal seekers and movie lovers alike. Now we will visit the most haunted film locations in Michigan. Number 1. Packard Automotive Plant in Detroit. The Packard Automotive Plant in Detroit is one of the most chilling film locations in all of Michigan. Once a symbol of American industry, the plant is now a vast ruin of collapsing walls, broken glass, and echoing halls that stretch for miles. Its haunting atmosphere has lured filmmakers for decades, but those who dared to shoot within its walls often left shaken. Films like It Follows 2014, Transformers, Age of Extinction 2014, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016, and 8 Mile 2002 all used the Packard plant as a backdrop, and each production was marked by strange and terrifying incidents. During It Follows, one of the actresses fainted while filming a tense chase scene. She later said she felt watched by dozens of unseen eyes. And just before collapsing, she heard a chorus of footsteps running above her, though the upper floor had already caved in. The crew replayed audio later and caught faint whispers in the background, voices that seemed to say, "Get out." On the set of Transformers, Age of Extinction, stunt performers reported heavy machinery sounds echoing through the plant, even though no equipment was running. One night, a director of photography screamed when a shadowy figure darted across the shattered factory floor. Security rushed in but found no one. The crew swore the figure was taller than a man and moved with unnatural speed. While filming Batman v Superman, a chilling accident happened. Lights suddenly blew out during an intense scene, showering the crew in sparks. Moments later, one of the actors heard a deep growl behind him and ran off set. He refused to go back inside that wing of the building. The director later admitted he felt an oppressive weight pressing down on his chest every time he entered the plant, as though something buried in the ruins wanted him gone. Even in 8 Mile, which used the Packard plant for gritty background shots, strange things occurred. Cast members reported cold drafts sweeping through sealed rooms. A makeup artist swore she saw a man staring at her from a shattered window. But when security investigated, no footprints or signs of entry were found in the dust. Later that night, eerie banging echoed through the plant's pipes, almost rhythmic, as if something was trying to speak through the metal. The Packard Automotive plant is more than an abandoned factory. It is a graveyard of industry, soaked with decades of struggle, death, and decay. Every film crew that enters finds more than atmosphere. They find the lingering ghosts of workers, shadows that move without form, and voices that whisper from the rubble. The plant does not simply host films, it devours pieces of everyone who dares to bring cameras inside. Number 2. Fisher Building in Detroit. The Fisher Building in Detroit is not only one of Michigan's most beautiful skyscrapers, but also one of the most haunted film locations in the state. Its grand halls, marble staircases, and Art Deco beauty have drawn filmmakers for years. Yet behind the shining walls hide whispers of shadows and restless spirits. Films like The Island 2005, Transformers, The Last Night 2017, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016, and Real Steel 2011 all use the Fisher Building as a backdrop, but actors and crew often left with terrifying stories. During the filming of The Island 2005, crew members swore they heard a woman crying in one of the deserted upper floors. Security checked the area several times but found no one. Actress Scarlett Johansson reportedly refused to rehearse alone in the stairwell after feeling a cold hand brush her shoulder when no one was nearby. On the set of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016, Ben Affleck allegedly saw a dark figure in a long coat move past the hallway mirror, but when he turned around, the corridor was empty. Crew members joked that the ghost wanted a cameo, but more than one person claimed to have seen the same shadow figure lurking near the elevators late at night. When Real Steel 2011 was filming, Hugh Jackman described hearing loud footsteps echoing behind him as he walked between takes, even though the hallway was locked off. Some extras left the set after hearing whispers in the dressing rooms, convinced the building was cursed with the voices of workers who died during its long history. Perhaps the most chilling incident happened during Transformers, The Last Night 2017. A camera operator felt a sudden shove so strong he nearly fell down the marble stairs. Thinking it was a prank, he turned, but nobody was there. Later that night, director Michael Bay reported flickering lights and equipment failures in one specific hall, as if something was trying to shut down production. The Fisher Building remains a masterpiece of architecture, but beneath its beauty hides a darker truth. Every film crew that steps into its elegant halls leaves with stories of strange sounds, ghostly touches, and shadows that never belong to the living. The grandeur of the building makes it unforgettable, but its hauntings make it terrifyingly unique. Number 3. Elmwood Cemetery in Detroit. Elmwood Cemetery in Detroit is more than just a burial ground. It is a chilling stage where history and the supernatural merge, making it the most haunted film location in Michigan. Established in 1846, the cemetery is home to Civil War soldiers, Detroit's early leaders, and thousands of restless souls. Its Gothic mausoleums, towering trees, and foggy pathways have attracted filmmakers for decades. Movies such as Gran Torino 2008, Only Lovers Left Alive 2013, Detroit 2017, and It Follows 2014 all filmed haunting scenes here. Yet with every production came stories that froze actors and crew with terror. During the filming of Gran Torino 2008, Clint Eastwood and his crew noticed constant technical malfunctions whenever they shot near a row of Civil War graves. Lights flickered, cameras shut off, and microphones picked up strange whispers. At one point, an actress playing a mourner claimed she saw ghostly soldiers standing silently in the distance, watching her every move. Security rushed to the spot, but the figures vanished into thin air. On Only Lovers Left Alive 2013, Tom Hiddleston reported an unnerving presence during a night shoot. As he walked between mausoleums, he felt as though someone was following him. Crew members later revealed that several extras had refused to return after hearing a woman sobbing near the tombs, yet no living soul was there. Some even said they saw a pale figure in a Victorian dress gliding across the cemetery before fading away. The production of Detroit 2017 faced equally frightening encounters. Director Catherine Bigelow described how sound recordings captured voices shouting names. Though no one on set had spoken, actors grew uneasy, especially when cold gusts of wind swept through areas where no breeze should have existed. One cameraman swore he felt his arm grabbed violently during filming, almost pulling the equipment from his hands. Perhaps the most terrifying stories came from It Follows 2014. The cast and crew consistently reported shadowy figures lingering between graves, always too far to clearly identify, yet too real to dismiss. Actress Micah Monroe once screamed in shock when she turned to see a tall, faceless shadow standing behind her. When lights were shown in its direction, nothing remained but mist curling across the tombstones. Elmwood Cemetery is more than a backdrop. It is alive with its own dark energy. Every film shot within its grounds carries the weight of centuries of grief, war, and death. For actors, directors, and crew, it leaves behind more than cinematic memories. It leaves ghostly scars that no one dares to forget. Number 5. Mackinac Island. Mackinac Island, resting quietly in Lake Huron, is one of Michigan's most beautiful and historic places, but it is also one of the most haunted. With no cars allowed, its narrow roads, horse-drawn carriages, and centuries-old buildings make it feel frozen in time. Yet beneath the charm lies a history soaked in war, tragedy, and restless spirits. The island has become a chilling film location, used in movies such as Somewhere in Time 1980, This Time for Keeps 1947, Stone Echoes 2012, and Haunting on Mackinac 2018. Every film crew that came here left not only with footage, but with terrifying stories that continue to haunt them. When Somewhere in Time 1980 was filmed at the famous Grand Hotel, actors Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour described an overwhelming sense of being watched in empty corridors. Crew members claimed lights flickered on their own, and footsteps echoed down hallways long after filming wrapped for the night. One actress even refused to stay overnight in her hotel room after she awoke to see a figure dressed in 19th century clothing standing at the foot of her bed. The earlier production of This Time for Keeps 1947 also left its mark. Dancers rehearsing late into the evening swore they saw a woman in white drifting across the hotel lawn. When they approached, she simply vanished into the mist. Even the director admitted he could not explain the strange shadows that appeared in reels of film, shadows shaped like marching soldiers moving in formation. During Stone Echoes 2012, an indie mystery shot around Fort Mackinac, several crew members grew so unnerved they demanded to work only during daylight hours. Actors complained of icy chills in their dressing areas, while one cameraman captured what looked like a soldier's ghost passing across the old fort walls. Equipment repeatedly failed at night, and some swore they could hear gunfire and battle cries carried on the wind. Perhaps the most disturbing experiences came during Haunting on Mackinac 2018, a low-budget horror feature. While shooting near the island cemeteries, the lead actor screamed and collapsed after seeing shadowy figures moving between the graves. The director admitted that half the night footage had to be abandoned because of constant audio interference, recordings full of whispers and voices that no one on set had spoken. Mackinac Island may look like a postcard of beauty, but its haunted history seeps into every frame of film. For actors and directors, it is never just a set. It is a place where the dead still march, whisper, and wander among the living, leaving behind ghost stories that cling as tightly as the island's fog. Number 6. St. Agnes Church in Detroit. St. Agnes Church in Detroit once stood as a grand place of worship, built in 1924, with tall Gothic arches and breathtaking stained glass windows. But after years of decline and eventual abandonment in the early 2000s, the church transformed into one of the most chilling places in Michigan. Its decaying walls, broken pews, and silent halls make it feel frozen in time, yet alive with something not of this world. Because of its haunting atmosphere, St. Agnes has become one of Michigan's most haunted film locations. Movies such as Transformers, Age of Extinction 2014, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016, Lost River 2014, and Detroit 2017 all filmed scenes here, and with each production came terrifying stories no one has ever forgotten. During Transformers, Age of Extinction 2014, explosions and action sequences were filmed around the ruins of St. Agnes. But between takes, crew members heard organ music echoing from the abandoned sanctuary, even though the organ had been dismantled years earlier. An actress swore she felt a hand on her back pushing her forward, only to turn and find nobody there. Some of the crew refused to go upstairs at night after spotting shadowy figures moving across the balcony. On the set of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill both admitted the church gave them an eerie feeling. One night, while rehearsing, the lights suddenly went out, leaving the entire crew in complete darkness. Moments later, several people reported hearing soft whispers calling their names from the altar. A camera operator fainted after claiming he saw a tall, faceless figure standing where the priest once gave sermons. The production of Lost River 2014, directed by Ryan Gosling, faced especially disturbing encounters. One actress described feeling as though someone was gripping her wrist during a scene, though no one was near her. Later, when footage was reviewed, strange white shapes appeared behind her in several frames. Crew members also reported cold gusts of air blowing through sealed hallways, carrying the faint scent of burning candles. Perhaps the most chilling events happened during Detroit 2017. While filming inside the nave, multiple actors complained of sudden dizziness and overwhelming dread. A director's assistant screamed when she saw a shadow move across the pulpit, only for it to vanish as quickly as it appeared. The strangest moment came when the sound team captured what seemed to be a Latin prayer, whispered faintly over their recordings, even though no one on set spoke it. St. Agnes Church is more than a ruined landmark. It is a place where echoes of faith and suffering linger. For filmmakers, it offers stunning visuals, but it also forces them into direct contact with something unseen. Each movie shot here carries not only haunting imagery, but the invisible presence of spirits that refuse to leave the sacred ground they once called home. Number 7. Grand Hotel. The Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island is one of Michigan's most breathtaking landmarks, standing proudly since 1887 with its massive white facade and the world's longest porch. Tourists come for its beauty, but filmmakers have long been drawn to its timeless atmosphere. Yet behind the chandeliers and luxury suites lies something deeply unsettling. Whispers of restless spirits, unexplained footsteps, and eerie sightings have made it the most haunted hotel in Michigan, and one of the most chilling film locations in the state. Movies such as This Time for Keeps 1947, Somewhere in Time 1980, Stone Echoes 2012, and Haunting of Mackinac 2018 were all shot here. and every production left with terrifying stories that still linger in Hollywood circles. When This Time for Keeps 1947 filmed at the hotel, actors rehearsing late at night in the ballroom claimed to hear soft piano music playing, even though the instrument was closed and untouched. A young actress swore she saw a woman in a long black dress glide across the dance floor and vanish before her eyes. The director later admitted that half his crew refused to stay inside the ballroom after dark. The most famous production, Somewhere in Time 1980, starring Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour, brought even more frightening tales. Seymour once described waking in the middle of the night to see a shadowy figure standing near her bed, only for it to vanish when she screamed. Reeve reported hearing footsteps pacing in the hallway outside his room when no one was there. Several crew members claimed their cameras repeatedly malfunctioned inside the hotel's upper floors, as if something unseen was draining the power. During the indie film Stone Echoes 2012, strange technical issues plagued the set. Actors described icy chills sweeping through their rooms, and one cameraman was so disturbed by an unseen whisper in his ear that he quit the production entirely. When reviewing footage, the director found odd white shapes moving across the ballroom mirrors, even though the room was empty at the time. Perhaps the most horrifying experiences came with Haunting of Mackinac 2018. While filming near the hotel's oldest guest wing, several extras reported feeling physically pushed aside by something they could not see. A makeup artist claimed she saw a man in Victorian clothing walk into her workroom, only for him to vanish into the wall. The director admitted that many cast members refused to sleep at the hotel and instead stayed in nearby inns, too frightened to remain where the cameras rolled. The Grand Hotel is more than a filming location. It is a place where beauty and terror collide. For every dazzling shot captured, there is an untold story of cold hands, ghostly music, and faces that do not belong to the living. On Mackinac Island, the Grand Hotel is not just a masterpiece of architecture, but a house where the past refuses to rest. Number 8. Masonic Temple in Detroit. The Masonic Temple in Detroit is one of the most iconic and mysterious landmarks in Michigan. Built in 1926, this towering Gothic structure is the largest Masonic temple in the world, with over 1,000 rooms, hidden staircases, secret chambers, and winding corridors that seem to stretch forever. Its scale and atmosphere have drawn filmmakers for years, but its chilling legends have earned it the title of one of the most haunted locations in the state. Films such as Transformers 2007, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016, The Island 2005, and Only Lovers Left Alive 2013 were shot here, and with each production came terrifying encounters no one could explain. During Transformers 2007, crew members described feeling uneasy while setting up lights in the massive theater hall. One actress said she heard footsteps rushing behind her as she rehearsed, but when she turned, the hall was completely empty. Some even claimed to see a shadowy figure pacing high above in the balcony seats, watching the crew with silent intensity. On the set of The Island 2005, director Michael Bay grew frustrated when expensive equipment malfunctioned in one of the upper rooms. When technicians inspected the area, they found nothing wrong, but several crew members later admitted they had seen a tall man in old-fashioned clothing wandering the corridors, disappearing through a locked door. Local legends suggest this may be the ghost of George Mason, the man who funded the temple, and is said to haunt it still. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016 brought even more disturbing tales. Ben Affleck reportedly refused to enter one of the basement rooms alone after feeling an icy chill rush past him. Extras working on a night shoot claimed they heard chanting echoing through the building, as if a long-forgotten ritual was taking place. The sounds grew louder, then suddenly stopped the moment security entered to investigate. Perhaps the most unnerving experiences came with Only Lovers Left Alive 2013. Director Jim Jarmusch used the temple for its Gothic beauty, but the cast and crew left with haunting memories. Tilda Swinton admitted that she felt not alone during every scene shot there. One cameraman claimed he was shoved hard against a wall by invisible hands. Another crew member fainted after seeing a pale figure step out of a doorway, glide across the hall, and vanish into the dark. The Masonic Temple is more than just an architectural wonder. It is a labyrinth of secrets where shadows never leave. For filmmakers, it offers unmatched atmosphere, but also encounters with the unknown. Behind every frame captured in its haunting halls are whispers, footsteps, and spirits that seem to guard the place, forever tied to its history of mystery and ritual. Number 9. Felt Estate in Holland. The Felt Estate in Holland, Michigan, built in 1928 by millionaire inventor Dorfelt, is a sprawling mansion that looks like something out of a Gothic novel. With its grand halls, endless rooms, and shadow-filled staircases, the estate is admired for its beauty. Yet beneath the surface, it hides a chilling reputation as one of the most haunted places in the state, one that has lured film crews for years and left them shaken. The estate first appeared on film in the historical documentary Felt Family Legacy 1997. During filming, cameramen reported voices echoing in the empty ballroom. One producer swore he heard a woman softly humming, only to realize the sound was coming from a darkened corner where no one stood. When they replayed the audio later, the voice was still there, hauntingly clear, like someone trapped in time. Hollywood soon took notice. In The Gathering 2002, a supernatural thriller, a young actress fainted in the upstairs hallway after claiming she saw a woman in a long white dress staring at her. Crew members rushed to help, but when they looked toward the end of the hall, the figure was gone. Several actors later admitted they avoided the third floor entirely, convinced it was cursed. In Silent Echoes 2010, an independent horror film, things turned more violent. Lights shattered suddenly during a dinner scene in the grand dining room, showering the cast with glass. A director said he saw a shadow crawl across the wall moments before the incident. An actor later described feeling as though someone invisible grabbed his neck, leaving behind deep red marks. The entire crew refused to shoot after dark from that night onward. Even paranormal documentaries faced terror. While filming Haunted Midwest, Mansions of Mystery 2017, a camerawoman froze as she captured a mist-like figure gliding down the grand staircase. Others reported a heavy perfume filling the air, believed to be the spirit of Agnes Felt, Door's beloved wife. The documentary host confessed afterward that it was the only time in his career he truly wanted to leave a location behind. The Felt Estate is more than just a historic mansion. It is a labyrinth of lingering souls. Some say the restless spirits are the Felt family, unwilling to leave their home. Others believe the decades it served as a convent and school left behind echoes of suffering. For filmmakers, it is a breathtaking setting, but one that comes with whispers, shadows, and terrifying encounters none will ever forget.